Hello there, welcome back to the Maverick channel, and here we bring to you tools that are going to help you navigate this crypto space because it can get extremely convoluted. So if you're excited about technologies like the Ethereum network, today's episode is going to be about the layer 2 scaling solutions that are meant to alleviate those problems within the Ethereum network. So the high gas fees, paying a lot of money for your transaction to go through, there's solutions that people are building, and these solutions are meant to help with the scalability of the Ethereum blockchains, and these solutions are known as layer 2 scaling solutions. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the most popular layer 2 scaling solutions and to see how the space has been moving forward. So stay tuned for the whole video and welcome to my channel. So this video is going to be like this. I'm going to take you through this tool that you can use to navigate the layer 2 scaling ecosystem to see what is popular, what people are using, what has the most total lock value. So what you're seeing in front of you is a chart that was curated by CoinMarketCap, which is one of the websites, that the most popular website basically for viewing the whole crypto landscape. So basically they curated this chart using the data from this website called Layer 2 Beat or L2 Beat. Now these guys are showing you that the layer 2 scaling technologies in their current state, they have a total, remember we're in a bear market, they have a total of $6.45 billion currently total value locked within them. That's what this TVL means. And here you can see hierarchy in terms of total locked value. In other words, when you look at these platforms, when you look at their smart contracts, the money rotating in there, the money actually locked in there up to date, this is $3.65 billion for the first one, which is Arbitrum, which uses a technology called optimistic rollups. You don't need to bother yourself with the details if you don't want to, because the layer 2 environment can get really convoluted, guys. Then DYDX is one of the other big exchanges, and they use zero knowledge proof layups. So what some of these are, for example, I'd explain a little bit with these zero knowledge proofs. For instance, you have A and B. A wants to send a transaction to B. B doesn't need to know who A is, and A doesn't need to know who B is, but they can both prove that a transaction was indeed sent from A to B, and B can prove that indeed, and A can prove that indeed they received the transaction. B can prove that they indeed received the transaction from A, but B doesn't have to know who A is, and A doesn't have to know who B is. So those are two users that I'm using the names A and B to try and explain some of these scenarios, like the zero knowledge proof technology that's used here. So of course these other technologies that are used within the layer 2 scaling ecosystem, but these technologies are extremely experimental and the industry is just figuring them out. There's also a scare that when the Ethereum network, in case it actually does to scale on its own, which I think is a bit difficult, but in case it ever happens, people are scared that these layer 2 scaling projects will be left redundant, and I don't think that's going to happen because they have tremendous value that they're providing to the market, and already they have a big user base, and they have a lot of programmers that are already implementing and also experimenting with their technologies to see how they're used. So without further ado, let's go into this. So the way I'm going to look at this, we're going to sort of look at a short analysis of what this is, these graphs here, through the lens of where they got the data from, which is layer 2 Beat. And I'm going to look at one thing that was posted here about one of the other layer 2 scaling solutions that you will not see here. So why is it not here? So the first thing we want to look at is a definition of the layer 2, and I'm going to pull this from another tool that you may want to educate yourself about, which is called blockchaincomparison.com. So it's a very good website to see things about all things about blockchain. So layer 1 blockchains, layer 2 blockchains, other technology in this space, you can see all this stuff curated properly on this website. So how do they define layer 2 protocols? Current layer 1 blockchains have limited scalability and privacy. In fact, layer 1 blockchains will remain the bottleneck of scaling Web3 applications. Current layer scaling solutions include sidechains and layer 2 state channels, optimistic rollups, and zero knowledge rollups. In 2021, the adoption of the first layer 2 protocols started. So best known are the Lightning Network on Bitcoin, and Ethereum scaling solutions such as Optimism, Arbitrum, Stockware, and Polygon. So Polygon is the one that I was talking about. That's not here. The only thing you see here is Polygon Hermes. Polygon Network made a partnership with Hermes to form Polygon Hermes, and it's the only thing that's mentioned here, which is ZK rollups. But if you investigate the Polygon network, it has the most locked or most applications built as far as layer 2 scaling is concerned. They're one of the blockchains that set out to act solely as a scaling solution for the Ethereum network. And when you go to their website, they're implementing many of these technologies. But this particular video is not about them specifically, but just to sort of bring to you out there the attention of the Polygon network. When you go, for example, to blockchaincomparison.com, they'll give you a layout of the layer 2 scaling solutions. I think not based on any particular order. I guess they have a rating system here. So 5-star, you have Starkware, Optimism, Polygon, and then they'll show you descriptions. For example, permissionless, zero knowledge proofs. Those are the ones I talked about. Best EVM compatible, so Ethereum virtual machine compatible networks. Ecosystem for scaling solution, that's Polygon. And then you notice here that it's a sidechain, or they'll basically give you an overlay of the technologies they're using. Polygon, for example, is a sidechain and has hundreds of applications. Optimism, Uniswap synthetics ecosystem. So we're talking about bringing derivatives and traditional assets onto the blockchain ecosystem. You need to maintain a proper price feed, so that's where synthetics fits in. DYDX, this is a decentralized exchange. Sorare, NFTs, Immutable X, NFTs, Diversify, I'm not too sure about that, but you can see the parallels. That's, for example, Starkware as a layer 2 scaling solution or technology is focusing mostly on NFTs, and that's where you see projects like Immutable X, which a lot of people are extremely bullish upon. Me, not yet, but I know projects that I'm engaged in heavily, and they're extremely bullish about this. And I think TikTok also wanted to use Immutable X. So without further ado, let's go into this tweet. Layer 2 chains have without a doubt exploded in popularity as their utility and benefits become increasingly recognized and easy to access amid Ethereum's scaling challenges, very expensive gas fees. So take a look at the top total locked value or total value locked of the reputable players, and you can see here Arbitrum. Arbitrum is here, for example, 3.6 billion total locked value, and then you can go to this website and look at a little bit more. For example, Arbitrum, optimistic rollup chain, and you can look at their website, optimistic rollups, 50 plus apps used here. So you can use these 3 platforms to actually navigate this. And then you can see the second one, DYDX, which is the exchange we talked about, then Optimism, Mentis, Loopring, Boba Network. So if you're looking at this, you can go here, click on them, go to their links and learn more, especially if you're a developer. If you're a speculator, some of these have tokens, so you can buy them in speculation. Obviously, this is not financial advice. So basically, what you're seeing here from the layer 2 bit website, I'll look at Arbitrum as an example. You look at Arbitrum, which is a solution. The total value locked, the money in terms of fiat, in terms of dollars, $3.65 billion. A breakdown. So this is on Ethereum, stablecoins and other things. So it gives you a percentage of what the technology is governing. For example, the YDX, you see it's 100% stablecoins. Actually, I did not know this. The YDX focuses on stablecoins, but they used to focus on the DAI stablecoin, which is a native stablecoin of the Ethereum network, and they create also these other multi-collateralized assets. So you have these stablecoins backed by multiple assets. So that's their focus. That's their MO, guys. And then further, you can look at Optimism, Metis, Andromeda, Loopring, which is another popular one, Boba Network, and then others in there, and you can make the breakdown by basically just following this link here. You can see Arbitrum, DYDX, Optimism, Loopring, Metis, Andromeda, Boba Network, and so on. And then you can use this technology, you can use these tools to further investigate what products are built around this, how many applications are built around this, and then you can make your own educated decision of where to park your money if you're interested in investing in this space, or where to park your mental knowledge if you're a developer and you want to seriously develop in this space but you're confused. So the thing I wanted to read about here is about the Polygon network. But isn't Polygon a plasma, which is another solution, roll up and sidechain all in one? If you go to the Polygon website, you find all the solutions that they're experimenting with. So the keyword is experimenting with, though of course Polygon is being used a lot. So the answer here is no. It's in its current implementation, it is a proof of stake sidechain with validators solely responsible for validating Polygon transactions. We are only interested in what is implemented and can be independently verified. When their architecture changes, we will be more than happy to include them. So Polygon network, despite being essentially or arguably the biggest scaling solution, which is, and they're also implementing some of the technologies, Tendermint based technologies from Cosmos ecosystem, which means they're going to be compatible with things like interoperability, and then experiment with sidechains and other technologies. But guys, I digress. This video is not about the Polygon network. All I'm saying, it's a very interesting ecosystem, but overall, the network, the ecosystem is looking at technologies like Loopring, Immutable X when it comes to specifically NFTs, and when you go to their website, that's what you'll see, and Diversify. So what I'm seeing from analyzing this, or from this analysis, is that layer 2 scaling solutions, not only are they important for the future scaling of blockchains generally, because other blockchains also get these problems, but they're also going to be important in creating another dynamic of this blockchain space, because of the amount of research going into them in terms of the value that they're meant to provide. So you have projects like Polygon looking as layer 1 solutions despite being layer 2 solutions, or with the purpose of scaling other blockchains. So they're kind of developing or evolving into their own monster, and others are governing the NFT sector. We have projects like the Flow blockchain, which is mostly focusing on the NFT sector. So will it need scaling in the future or not? Who knows? Where does it fit exactly? Is it layer 1 or layer 2 solution? Who knows? But basically, you want to use these websites to try and understand this space, and just using these two tools, it will help you to really take away all the convolution and be able to navigate this space and look at these products in a very objective way, in order to decipher your own solutions or your own understanding of what is going on in this space, so that you make better decisions as you navigate this space. So this was me bringing to you these two tools. You can check for the link of the description of this tweet here, and you can read further into it if you want. But you can also look at layer 2 scaling solutions, and also basically L2Bit and blockchaincomparison.com to further analyze layer 2 scaling solutions. But to briefly go through what they were talking about here, right now the layer 2 landscape is dominated by just a handful of major players, with the top 3 largest layer 2 capturing more than 75% of the layer 2 ecosystem, basically, which means Arbitrum, DYDX, and Optimism. But we know if we were to include Polygon, then that would be a whole animal of its own. So indeed, according to the latest data from layer 2 Bitcom, Arbitrum alone has secured 57% of the total. So they're sort of analyzing that. And then products like SushiSwap, GMXIO, and Curve Finance, as GMXIO is a decentralized perpetual exchange, then Curve Finance, one of the biggest dexes on the Ethereum network. So those are the products they're kind of giving that are using that. So their value is also derived from that. And if the project itself has a token, then that also increases the amount of accrued value. So the hugely popular decentralized exchange and margin lending platform DYDX is also the second most popular. So essentially, what they're explaining here is further building upon what you can see here, but you can do your own research by basically opening this link and comparing with this other website, because it has a breakdown of the technologies here, and even has a rating system and which blockchain on which these layer 2 solutions are built, with Bitcoin of course having the Lightning Network. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. I really hope you understood, you got an easy way, a path to navigating the layer 2 landscape in the crypto space. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Bye bye.